Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours. Welcome to an exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. What is the nature of faith? Is a question that has haunted theologists and philosophers since the very beginning. It is up there with those questions that have boggled mankind, such as which came first, the chicken or the egg, etc. However, this evening, the streets of Dublin are much different, much changed, and yet they're entirely the same. You find yourselves in a dimly lit pedestrian area. Dimly lit because the lamps overhead that should illuminate the streets are spaced far too distantly apart. There must be at least a good 30 meters in between each lamp post. And the houses in question on either side of the street are set too far back. They're set too far back with high hedges, so any light that would normally spill out from their front-facing windows are gobbled up by front gardens. No help there. However, there is a church, a lonely bastion of faith, or at least that is what you believe, that stands somewhere in this general vicinity. A place wherein over 100 souls met their end some nights ago in a most gruesome fashion. However, in a not too altruistic manner, you all are not here in order to find out what happened to these poor souls. No, no. You're here because, well, something happened to you that night. You felt as if, well, you were pulled somewhere, or something was attempting to drag you. Something was attempting to place a chain around you once again, and that, to you, is a truly terrifying concept. And so it is, we will see the fallen gather on a simple little pedestrian street in a nowhere neighborhood in order to find out what from your minds wants to drag you back to hell. You're getting your introductions. I will interject when I'm ready.
Okay. Mariel, for his part, will arrive in the scene having walked to this particular location. Maybe some of the other fallen would have cared to accompany him. But either way, there is this sense of, the sense of dread anticipation walking along the pavement. And he stares at the church from afar. It's not often that there's a massacre at a church in this part of the world anyway. But when it does happen to get noticed by sometimes maybe all the right people or the wrong people. Depends on your perspective. So yeah, he just stands there and he looks towards his fellow fallen just to see if they have any comments on the matter.
Santika, for her part, has just followed along without really saying much. She's again wearing a hoodie and a cap, like to try to hide her appearance or her face at least, without being like too without like actually covering her face, because that draws attention in itself. So she'll like walk up along and have this kind of feeling in her stomach that she can't quite put a finger on. I don't like this place. Something bad happened here, she mumbles.
I know.
Somebody else who would like to put a finger on her stomach is arriving, driven in a car by his sister on his way to this ridiculous place of worship. And as they are driving there, he initially didn't want to go, like all this investigating shit. Guy has to earn some money, can't make the streets right now, so he's a little bit annoyed. However, he knows that if he doesn't do it, he's gonna blame himself later. So when he arrives and gets out of the car, he'll wait for his sister to join him. So they'll have a look.
I can assure you that his sister would have insisted on driving past and around the church a few times before actually finding a parking spot. Not too near the church, a little bit further away, and walking the last bit. A little bit, a little bit of a trigger happy from time to time. Will have her gun with her, of course, and this kind of has it in her pocket as usual, and is just viewing this church as if it's something really ugly and as if the blood is already pouring out, no matter what whether there was a murder or not in it. It's just a icky place.
For the record, as you drive around the outside of the church, the only thing that is of slight interest is there are 2 police officers who are outside the back of the church proper, appearing to be having cigarettes and coffee. And there is a very nice luxury model BMW that is sitting out front in the parking spot that you would assume is reserved for the priest.
All right. I am going to look at that model just for the sake of argument and see if I can steal it later. Other than that, yeah, he'll wait for his sister, but he is interested in that car and wonders if she can take it.
Our eyes will follow his, and she'll look at the car and just kind of gives a nod of appreciation there.
As they spot their well, I wouldn't call it friends, acquaintances. Kirill will smile as soon as he spots Celia. And he will nudge Lil and say, "Look what the cat dragged in."
Yeah, she'll look. She does not smile.
Oh, I'll give her a warm smile, as warm as I can get it.
See, for her part, Celia just does a friendly greeting, puts up her hand with a wave of recognition.
Oh.
Nick,
sorry,
his part also waves. He knows he's not nobody of particular importance. Well, to these people anyway.
By the way, Jason, would your character know who my host is?
You have fame, don't you?
I have fame too, but Saskia and Jesse didn't know me.
Mostly because they don't usually operate in a normal society.
Yeah.
Depends on what you call normal.
What's the origin of their fame, I suppose?
She's a singer, like Taylor Swift-ish, so like pop/folk music.
Oh, like local talent or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably would know.
Okay.
Yeah, probably would know them then.
I was going to say, eventually I will come up with a system for fame. It's probably going to be some kind of role, the difficulty of which is determined by the amount of fame, possibly something like Intelligence Streetwise or something like that. But for the meantime, if you know them, you know them. You don't. Continue.
Like I don't expect you guys to understand my fame, because it's mostly in the underworld and nothing far out than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we see you when we approach, yeah, he'll just make a simple remark like, looks like we find ourselves again in the same spot by a different caller, I think.
Yeah. This is different, though. Something, well, did you feel it pull as well?
Mm-hmm.
Like the darkness, like the abyss.
Oh, yes, somebody trying to get me back, and I have no intention of going without giving them a fight.
I don't think that this directed. It was more kind of like a to whom it may concern.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because it's a place like this. Well, you know that a lot of the churches were built upon ancient pagan sites. The reason why those sites were chosen was because they were truly places of power. There's threads along all of creation, threads which crevice into kind of like the soul seat of power. I think that's probably why we felt the pull so much here. Whoever it was that was making this evocation is either being reckless, or maybe they're just
making
uncertain.
a point.
That's a possibility as well. Won't know unless I look in there, look back. Do you guys think that those police officers will notice?
That depends on how competent they are. She is, Santika says with a bit of a smirk.
For the record, guys, it is at this moment in time the church, all of the windows in the building and the doors explode outward in a pillar of green flame,
Wow.
killing both police officers in the most brutal and gruesome way you can possibly imagine.
Awesome.
You see chunks of viscera as they are practically snapped in half by the force of the explosion that rips through the building. The green flame, as you see it, is sickening. It makes you feel as if something is wrong on a deep, deep level. This is followed by a very odd... You're aware that you can see this, but you don't think other people can perceive it because of your ability to practically see the weave of magic as it exists. There is a towering pillar that stretches into the sky of, well, energy. You would say it possibly faith, or if not faith, faith potential.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of one of you, and that is the Slayer, who may make me an intelligence house lore check.
I'm so glad I have no intelligence whatsoever, but I'll make you roll.
It is going to be difficulty 8.
Oh, this is going to be lovely.
By the way, as this happens, Lil's eyes kind of widen, and then she will, pretends that this was not impressive at all, and will just look at Celia and is like, I don't think that they will notice.
And for her part,
I have one success.
Okay.
Every
Whatever is happening in there at the moment, those are souls. Over 100 souls being torn apart for energy.
My specialty is indeed spirits, so this will be interesting.
Those are souls being torn apart for the energy of the soul.
Ooh.
For her part, Santika, when that happened, her hand flew to her mouth and her eyes widened in terror and horror. Like, oh no, what? Oh no.
This is not good.
All of you will coincidentally regain 1 faith a turn for combat round.
Nice.
Oh no. Okay, sweet.
However, you now see all of that energy sucked down into a single point.
Oh boy.
That glows with a green light so intense you could almost swear it was a second sun. Before it suddenly dissipates in a roaring mass of energy. And you could almost swear you heard something click.
Let's hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, before there's nothing left to see.
By the way, Evan, does that extra faith stack on top of like?
Oh no! If you go to your maximum, it won't take you past it.
Okay, sweet. That's what I wanted to know.
It's an incentive to start using faith.
Yep.
So Karul is very very interested in this particular place of power if it has the capability and capacity to hold or suck or have fun with so many souls. And yeah, he definitely.
The moment, I will point out, and this is important, as you race towards the church, the moment the light show is over, all power in it immediately ceases.
Hmm. Is there like a side door or something? Because like we're storming in, but I still don't want to storm in noticed, especially not after two police persons just got ripped to shreds out of nowhere. Is there like a side entrance that doesn't, is
And
very often obvious?
Yeah, I would also second that, and also
Yeah,
I don't
me
want.
too.
I don't want to create any continuity errors, especially. What I don't want my characters to meet is what I'm trying to say, Evan.
Don't worry. You act as if I haven't planned for this. God, children. Can I get everyone please to make me a perception awareness check, because demons can sense magic.
You can, if I had put the roller up, which I didn't because I'm silly. Just a sec.
And yes, it is based on sight. Sorry, I keep
Okay.
having to say that whenever Saskia exists.
I
You
get
said
one success.
perception what, sorry?
Awareness.
Awareness.
Saskia's OP.
I'm not OP.
Standard diff?
Standard diff.
I see one thing.
I have two
One success.
successes.
Beg your pardon.
One success.
Okay, Saskia has
Two.
2 successes. Okay.
Let me roll that.
That was a terrible roll, by the way. God damn it.
mm, there you go. That is, if one is not taking away, it's 4 successes.
1 does take away, so it is 3. But Jesse, you and Saskia see it, because I had mentally set the threshold to 2. Basically, what you guys will see is the tiny light that was once as bright as the sun still exists. It is just very, very small, and it is not nearly as bright anymore. But you will see it. You will see it flit through the wall of the church at this moment in time, physically through the wall, like moving incredibly quickly, until it will enter into a small park that is roughly, you would say, about 100 yards distant from you, where it's kind of hovering in midair.
Right. Then I'm definitely going to follow that ball of lights.
That means we don't have to go into the filthy building.
Follow that ball.
However, Jason, you may touch the building, and you may gain the insights that you will gain
Okay.
from the previous roll.
Touchy.
I will point out, when you have your vision, however, you will have your vision up to the moment where there was the giant boom, and not any time before that, basically, or not any time after that. So you get right up until the boom.
So TLDR up until the point where the silly thing was done.
Yes, up until the point where the silly happened. For the record, guys, that explosion was entirely player driven. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
I hope some players.
Okay.
A lot of actors don't.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying not. Sorry. Yeah, Matt was Celia and whoever else is at Nick. I'll see him when he touches the building. You see, he kind of like has a very slight far off away glance in his eyes. There were 4 of them here. One of them was a woman, tall, muscular. Guy in a hoodie. A guy with a suit. Another one with shades. The one with shades spoke to the police officers, told them to leave. They went in. They looked around. They found a symbol by the pew. I don't recognize the symbol. There was discussion. The one with the suit pointed to the woman, asked them to touch. they wouldn't. The one with the glasses, they were listening, searching. They couldn't find the souls. The one with the suit then picked up a Bible. They flicked to a page of Solomon. Then they dropped the book on the symbol. That's weird. I don't see anything after that.
Celia just nods and she doesn't know what to make of that, but she's still reeling from what she just saw.
Great evil has been done in this place.
That much is obvious, she says.
Well, standing as close to the building as you are, I'm going to have to ask all of you to roll a torment check.
Remind me what that is. Is it just rolling on torment or?
No, it is the rolling of. It's a rolling of one of your virtues. I believe it's conscience.
Yep. Okay.
It is. Yes, it is. It is a roll of conscience, and I'm going to set this to difficulty 8 because of the amount of death, pain, and anguish that has just been experienced.
Do I have even conscience?
I think it's conscience. It's one of the whatchamacallit, one of the virtues.
Yeah, I have.
I have to roll conscience.
Yeah, right.
Fail.
Like what? Conscience? What is that?
Is that a thing?
I think that's usually when you do something that happens, but yeah.
It can also be. It can also be given to you
Courage
by
or something.
It's
What? Sorry.
It can also be given to you by places.
Wow, you actually have one.
Wow.
I get 0 fucks.
Wow. Well, I failed anyway. If it's conscience, if it's courage, I need to re-roll.
I believe it's conscience. People can
That's
feel
fair.
free to correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
I think it was conscience as well.
That's fair. I failed.
Cool. I believe that nets you 1 point of torment, but not a level of torment.
So a temporary torment.
Yep.
I will have to check that, but yes.
But are we going into the building? Because the lights that we saw went to a park, right?
Yes, it did, and here's the light. I'm just pointing. Barber basically booped the building with his hand and got all of that in a very short space of time.
Uh-huh.
All the alliterations.
Nick.
I honestly, I think that Lil wouldn't really have waited and would have just started towards the park.
You will see as you approach the park, it's going to take you a couple of minutes because you actually find that the light itself is in the center of the park on a small island that is clearly made for picnics. So there's this nice little wooden bridge over a small running stream. On the other side of which there is a small island with a gazebo on it, and it is the light is simply floating in the center of the gazebo.
What's with the gazebos? Will Lil actually say?
Have I used a gazebo before?
I think there was a gazebo that we sat down in the.
That's Anthony. No, that wasn't me.
I know, it's not you. But for Lil, it's like, oh, this is the second stupid thing that happens, and there's a gazebo again. God
You're
damn
right. Demons are placing gazebos all over Ireland just to make a point.
Yeah. It's an earthbound plot.
It's an earthbound conspiracy.
It's an earthbound devourer because they're going to have like a nasty looking spider in every one of them.
For the lulz.
Why am I reminded of the Munchkin game where there's a live gazebo? Oh boy.
Anyway,
So
but going into that direction.
Horrible.
Moving on, you will see this small bauble of light simply suspended there.
Okay. You said it was in a light. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was going to say, as I'm approaching closer, does it move away or does it stick around?
It stays there.
I have to sense. I have to look up stuff because I have to make a few sensible sensing things.
Okay. Yeah, it is just kind of suspended there. It's roughly about chest height.
Hmm. Yeah, it's. I want to know if there's at the moment a big tear in the veil between the realms, so to speak.
Okay, I believe that is lore of spirits. I think.
Now, that's one's lore of realm.
Okay, that's also valid.
I only have to figure out what the role was again. I believe it was. Yeah. All right. No, wait. Sorry.
So, as you're rolling and everything, did you say, Evan, that it was like in a or on a lake?
No, it is on an island in the center of a small pond.
Oh, a small pond. Okay.
I am. I'm trying to sense the barrier, as it were. So if it's because if just to make sure that if we are going to approach it, we're not suddenly sucked into the realms of the dead, so to speak.
Okay, make your roll.
Yeah, I just did. I have depending on the difficulty, I have a 7, a 6, and an 8, and the others one's low.
Does the ability give it difficulty, or does it say?
No, just eventually it says how big and where it is and exactly like that.
There are currently no tears in the veil. The veil actually seems to be quite fine. It doesn't seem to have been affected by this at all.
Awesome.
Which is slightly disturbing because it means those souls never crossed the veil, which meant something was artificially anchoring them here.
Yep, exactly. That's why I'm
So
going.
this place is going to be haunted as fuck.
Well, it depends if we.
All the souls were just torn apart and used to create whatever the hell that is.
Mm-hmm. So, how far away is it?
From where you're standing, about 15, 20 meters.
Okay. So, if I were to jump, because I'm not in the mood for swimming.
There's a bridge.
Oh, there's a bridge. Oh. Oh. Okay. Then getting over the bridge.
Bridge over troubled waters.
By the way, okay, demons. Once again, make me another perception awareness roll.
I wasn't ready yet to do this. You're a guy. I want to do this. Okay, I wasn't ready yet, but sure, go ahead.
This is when Discord decided to fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
It's very
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
Wow, I see all the things. I get 3 successes. Why couldn't I get 3 successes
4,
before?
5.
Ditto.
I got 5.
Mine doesn't want to do what it needs to do.
I will give the explanation then, and you may do with it as you will if you get enough success, or if you get 2 successes.
Discord's being a little bit laggy, I think.
All around you now, there are at least 8 different usages of magic, but they're in the ground around you, and they're moving.
Guys, we may not be wrong about the Earthbound gazebo.
No, I'm not ready for this.
Get away from the island as soon as possible until you figure out what is actually there, anchoring this shit.
You will then see the shadows on the island in the gazebo proper swirl around for a few moments before a figure solidifies. It is this person who will simply hold out their hands and take a small glowing light in their hands.
Oh, she's cute.
That's Satan.
Yes.
It's in fact Satan from Passion of the Christ, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't appear to notice you, or they don't appear to give any attention to you, or other state. And you will see them. They're holding it in their hands, and they're speaking in a very low voice, kind of almost whispering to it.
Shit. Can we hear? I need to look up a thing because I know you can activate parts of your APOC form. And there's a parts that I
Yeah,
would
I
like
think you
to
have to
activate.
roll faith, I believe. Hang on, just let me.
Wait, can you activate part of your form and not the entirety of it?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yep.
but
Once again, feel free to always contradict me whenever it comes to anything in Demon whatsoever, because I do not know the system 100%, so I'm always free to be corrected.
well, I know it is possible. I just don't
Yeah,
know
me too.
exactly what to roll.
Oh, they have to make a faith roll.
Okay,
Okay.
then I will make a faith roll because I want to activate my enhanced senses,
Okay.
which is not visible, so that helps, but will lower any difficulty of perception rolls by 2.
Okay. Make your faith roll. I'm gonna. Does it give a difficulty of the faith roll? If not, it's just false standard, I would assume.
Yeah, standard.
Cool.
I'd like to also do that if possible.
You can make a faith roll. You can also slowly activate it.
Okay. I'm going to assume that in this case, a faith roll is being done to activate it while he's speaking.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Or it's actually. I should also qualify. You can't tell this thing's gender. Is that androgynous? It's really hard to tell the difference. And the voice is also suitably difficult to tell if you can eventually hear it.
Well, I fail.
And I got 3 successes.
Ooh.
Yes, yours activates.
Okay.
It's speaking in a language you can't understand.
It's fine.
One of us should really have taken Lore of Humanity.
I'm working
Yeah.
on it.
That, but yeah.
Working on it.
No one ever does. It's one of those forgotten lores.
Yeah.
So many other fun.
It can be really useful, but yeah.
You will then see him. Oh, you will then see him lift it up, open his mouth, and swallow it.
Oh god.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Greedy.
You know what? I'm not gonna wait around. Lil is just gonna approach, staying on the bridge. Who are you?
It stops and it turns. And it raises an eyebrow and it says, "How can you see me?" Because of course, obfuscate will not function on demons.
Nope.
When he speaks, you can see the definite pronounced fangs in his mouth.
Gonna revise my question. What are you?
Ah, my. That explains it. You see, he blinks twice and looks you up and down.
I mean, Lil does have the gun in her hand, not raised or anything, because, you know, she's kind of having her hand behind her back slightly, but it is in her hand. She doesn't look like she's about to fire, though. She's not ready to fire, but she's sort of on edge. She's ready to jump away, basically.
From all around you guys, emerging from the earth itself, with your physical corporeal form, you will see 8 of these.
Oh.
Oh fuck.
Great.
Not a problem.
Well, hello there.
Hey there, sexy.
What the fuck was that? Hello there.
Right?
That was me channeling Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You cannot Kenobi your way out of this. But you can't do it. But they will look at you with bright, glaring red eyes.
Oh, I'm grinning back. It's time for fun.
There's no need. I don't assume you came here to try and prevent from things like oh, I'm really sure what it is you're here.
By the way,
You are here.
I mean, I can't hear like most of what you just said there fell out for me. I don't know if it did for the rest of you guys.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
One moment.
Yes, we scared him away.
I'm reading my ability. I'm reading my death abilities. This could be a thing.
I'm reading the fucking
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
with the path of the patterns. Fucking hell.
I need to go into high torment if I want to survive this.
You're not the only one who has a problem with that. However, I can pull
I mean-
myself into the other realm, and that'll release me from damage, getting damage from them.
I'll just do
However,
one
that's
way
a,
of
that's a,
highlight.
that's a just me action.
Hi, Evan.
Are people already running away? Yay!
No.
Of course not.
Well, yes, I was thinking about it, to be honest.
Brave says Errol. He bravely ran away.
Oh, well, there's a chance I'll be coming back.
He looked down at he looked down at Lil and basically said, "How do you feel?" A question.
Nope.
I can't, I, for the life
No,
of me, I
no,
can't hear him.
I didn't know either. Sorry.
Yeah, me too, man.
Hmm.
It's not my internet, it's my computer, so just a moment, I'll see if I can fix it.
I actually never looked up all the abilities I have on my form, because
I mean, in my high torment form, I'm sort of badass, but I need to go into high torment form if I want to survive any kind of physical thing. That's probably something I should do something about.
yeah, I'm going to be an arrogant asshole and think I can do without. I'm going to get killed, I know this, but I have self-confidence. Let me see. All right. All right. Oh, I have a few nice things. A few wings. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay. I don't want to go to high torment. However, I might be able to intimidate something.
There we
Oh,
go.
great. Now we've got two other cunts to deal with.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them.
Okay, we should have fixed it. Has that fixed it?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds a lot
For the
better.
moment, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so he basically looks down at Saskia and says, "A question for a question, an answer for an answer."
Lila's thinking about that. She's not the best at this game, but she'll say, "Fine. If either of us don't want to go on, we quit."
Fine. I had never known one who knew grace and fell from it to ever fear the answer to a simple question. But then again, we are all different, I should think.
Yes, you can think. My turn. What are you?
I am me. What is your name?
Lil.
Liar, liar.
It's what I call myself with.
My.
I mean, out of character, Lil is actually speaking the truth. Like, she has never introduced herself as anything but Lil.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's not necessarily you. He isn't rolling a dice to say you're lying.
Oh, no, that's fair. But yeah, just, in case you wanted to roll, like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
in her mind, she's speaking the truth.
So, why is it that on this most auspicious of nights, the night wherein the door, the first lock is unbound, it is I find you here in my path?
2 questions.
Then you may also have 2.
I came here because I heard something. What have you done in this place?
I opened a lock to the door.
A door to what?
Now who's asking too many questions?
Ah, you said I could have two.
He points up to the sky, and he will point to... Tonight is a very starless night, and he will point to the inky blackness of the night sky, and he will say, that.
The darkness.
The darkness always is and always has been so separated from the light. Does anyone here have a legacy rating above 3?
Yes. I have
Hell no.
5.
We have 3. So yeah.
This is literally this is the worst character to play this game with. She doesn't know shit.
Nope.
Above 3, so 4 and 5.
Okay.
Matt, okay. Do you want to make me an intelligence legacy roll?
Yep. Difficulty of standard.
Correct.
Oh, that
Wow.
one.
Shit. I got 8 successes.
Jesus Christ.
Why can't I
Oh,
roll
yeah.
8 successes on something much more valuable? Okay.
No, if it helps, this is probably the most valuable roll you'll ever make.
Wow. Okay. I'm listening.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Mhm.
Or so it says in the book of Genesis. What existed before the heaven and the earth?
In the beginning, there was nothing but darkness.
Exactly. Basically, when God created all, there was something before God, that inky black primordial nothingness from which everything sprang. As a matter of fact, that was your duty. You created all. You were designed as servitors in order to create the world, in order to create all that was. But there was always the nothingness on the edge of all creation, that constantly raged and howled and gnashed its teeth, because it could never be, because it never was, because it never would be. However, in that darkness, not just darkness, that lack of light, there was always a malicious intelligence that wanted nothing more than to swallow everything that was, to make it all as night again, before the dawn, before the creation, before God said, let there be light.
Yep.
As soon as she realizes this, Santika, she howls. No, not howls, but she can't keep silent anymore. She speaks up in outrage. What blasphemy is this?
As you do that, the creatures all around you start baring their fangs and take on a genuinely more hostile posture.
I was waiting for that one. Can I make a counter intimidation roll?
Oh God.
Yes.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that.
How are you attempting to intimidate them? Because that will determine what dice pool you use. Because intimidation is one of those weird skills.
Oh yes, but I'm not using any sort of intimidation. If I'm doing it correctly, I have to see if I can do. Oh wait, no, I have to have another form for it to do that. That's too bad. I was hoping to do this form, but this form is too simple. Well, then I will simply use my human form first, because I haven't changed yet. To change, that will be a quick change. I can. Am I allowed to do to start my my aura of dread?
You'd have to roll your faith roll in order to activate vestigial elements of your APOC form.
Oh well, I guess I'll do that then. Let's see if this fails. I'm fucked. We'll have to wait till I get all the successes or nothing. Oh wow, all the successes.
Okay, then yes, you may activate your Aura of Dread.
All right, Aura of Dread means that I get some bonuses. They all have to make a will save.
Let's see how this one goes. I would pay any amount of money if you caused the big antagonist NPC for the entire fucking menu to fear frenzy.
I could.
The description is the demon is surrounded by an aura of fear that saps the will of her foes. Target within a number of yards equal to the character's faith loses their normal initiative unless successful willpower rolls made. Against difficulty equal to the demon's torment. My torment is only 4, so don't worry about it.
What were you saying, Jason?
I was saying, well, jokingly, of course, I do have a law that can do that.
Well, I have more things. This is just my first step in the thing.
I know. I know. Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, yes.
This is not even my final form.
Literally.
You managed to you basically you managed to cow 2 of the gargoyles, as in they kind of look like confused and slink back. The rest of them appear to be unaffected, however.
It's fine.
No, my pets. I didn't say for you to feast on them now, did I? Just because someone felt the need to be rude.
Can I roll my my faith to activate Voice of the Damned?
On what? Okay, what does it do?
Voice of the Damned helps intimidate, as far as I recall. I had it just before. Yeah, the demon's voice booms with the authority of God, or alternatively, seeds with inhuman hate and malice. The difficulties of all intimidation rolls decreased by 2. At the moment, I'm going for the former.
Okay.
Yeah, I will do the Howl of the Damned next as a step.
I am going to warn you guys, because this is entirely in your hands. The more you press them, the more likely they are to
To
respond.
attack, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Why doesn't the roller roll? Oh, it does.
Yeah, I know.
Even the dice roller is like, guys, this is a bad idea.
I have 2 successes.
Okay.
When I think it's a bad idea. Seriously, people. Why?
She will take a small step forward, and she will like lift up her voice, and she will say, "You pathetic creatures, disgust me. We stood at the dawn of creation. We saw him in all his glory. You are vomit that dogs barfed up. Repent while you still can."
Okay, roll your intimidation check. Dear God, if you love me, make him botch this. I asked.
Evan.
Oh
What?
God.
It's far too late for you to be making that kind of thing. I'm just joking. Saint DNS and all that.
What difficulty, Evan?
It's standard difficulty, so it'll be reduced to 4.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Come on, dice roller.
I've one job.
Give me 4 10s and I'll start believing in God. Come on.
Okay. Why doesn't this
Yep.
work?
Careful what you wish for, man.
I'm not wishing for anything.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let it. Just let it.
Yeah,
Let it do what
it's
it's
Oh, there you go. Ooh.
Okay, the first one was I did get a success on
Both.
yeah, actually, but I mean, yeah,
It'll default to the first roll, whichever shows
Yeah.
up first is the roll.
Exactly.
So, all right. I'm gonna give them a collective willpower roll, and then I'll roll his willpower separately.
please watch this, Evan. It could be so hilarious if you do.
This is the Gargoyles' collective willpower. They do not botch.
Shit. Well, they don't
Uh,
succeed They do succeed, but not like they don't like ruffle stomp it.
This is his willpower.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, well he.
They all kind of look at him. They all kind of look Celia up and down, like, really? Dogs vomit? That's where we're going today.
I mean, I
Um,
think even Lil at that point just looks around and be like, "Wait, what now? Really, guys?"
I'll make you a deal, Aishar says as he clasps his hands behind his back. I only give him his name because somebody of them already knows his name. I will take that one. She points at Celia. The rest of you may live and leave.
No, we weren't done with our game yet.
Fascinating.
Live,
If it helps.
live, and death. Such very narrow concepts.
Oh, you think that I'm going to kill you in the proper way? No, 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 my dear fallen friend. I will bind you into a bauble and wear you until Judgment Day, which is, I assure you, forthcoming. When it is, and all is darkness, and all shall end.
Not going to do anything just yet. Go ahead, Lil.
Yeah, go get him, Lil.
I think it was your turn for a question. Unless you don't want to play anymore.
Why, if you care about a world that does not care for you?
Who says I do?
Then why are you standing there, defiant?
Because I do not know what you are.
Ah, yes. Fair question. He will give a slight bow, inclining its back, and it will say, "My name is Ishar, known by some as Ishar the Black, or Ishar the Firstborn Son. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
I'm not quite sure if the pleasure is all mine, but I believe that is what they normally say, right?
It is customary.
I don't really like customary.
And so it is ironic to hear a fallen angel, a being smote down by the hand of a false tyrant of a god. So interesting it is that they scream his revelries at the top of their lungs, even though they themselves are already damned.
Some of us do, yes.
Forlorn hope, I suppose.
Does not everyone need some kind of hope?
A forlorn hope is something different.
I suppose even you have hope. What is your hope?
An interesting question. But just as God made the universe, do I not seek to make something greater? However, I've tarried long enough, so I am now faced with the conundrum of what to do. You are unwilling to give me this one.
Yes.
Why?
She amuses me.
Very well. I will give you another offer. You have a gun. Put a bullet through her head and you'll be richly rewarded. Name your price.
Rewarded how?
What would you desire? He flicks up his hand and he just starts to flick. You know, like you'd flick a coin? He just starts to flick gold coins, like doubloons, roughly around the size of the palm of your hand, from nothing. Just like flick, flick, flick.
Can you restore life?
I can.
Can you restore minds?
after a fashion.
It's not worth it.
We might want to wait for Mark to get back to hear the fact that you're currently debating.
Come again? What?
They're currently debating. He said basically you're not willing to give Celia to me. No. Okay, and you've got a gun. What's your price to shoot her in the head? And they're currently debating the price.
Really?
Oh
Well,
my god.
Can I do a perception empathy on Neil?
Sure, bring it. But I will counter it.
That's fine. Manipulation subterfuge or manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Manipulation subterfuge. I got 4 dice, and I have the Great Liar merit, so I get 2 extra dice.
Oh shit.
So I got 6 dice.
Oh, you think we were honest, bad boy.
I mean, with 6 dice, countering 3 successes is quite hard. Unless you got 4.
Yeah.
How does Lil feel, or how do you want to show that you feel?
She's very businesslike at this moment.
Oh dear.
You can't really tell whether she's joking or not.
What did she say?
So far, she asked if he can restore life, or if he can restore minds.
The vampire or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We still don't know if it's a vampire though.
Yeah.
Out of character, you know, but in character.
Yeah, in character we don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can you restore one of us?
Define restore.
If my brother would die, would you be able to bring him back as he is right now?
Yes.
Good.
Can I spend a faith point to activate my apocalyptic form?
And you will promise that you will pay back any price I name.
No. I would, of course, have to get the price first and agree to it.
Fair enough. Hmm.
I'll let you activate your APOC form, Mac. I just want to see where this conversation goes. But before they do anything drastic, you will activate your APOC form.
Because I'm not gonna risk. I'm not gonna risk getting shot in the head by Leo.
Why not? It's fun.
I assume that's one temporary faith.
Correct.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
And I didn't put my I can't put my APOC form on the lower third because then I can't put anything else. But it's basically
One question: are you using high torment or low torment APOC form? Because I think you got the choice.
Yeah, I do high because that's the only form in which I can actually survive stuff.
You know that there's a big downside to using high torment form, right?
I get it. As far as I recall, I get a point of temporary torment, right? Or
I'm not quite sure if it's the temp one.
Is it, Evan?
Once again, demon. I only know smatterings of it, so we'll have to get a book read.
The thing is, though, if I get shot in the head right now, I basically die because in my human form I have like 2 stamina, and in my human form I'm basically just another human.
If it helps, you also come back because you got at least 1 pact.
I do have a pact, yes.
I don't want to get back into my pact yet.
Also,
me neither. Yeah.
Maybe you just want, like, basically you can get into your APOC form like Snap, and Lil still has to answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's an important question to ask. I think Saskia is right. I think going into your APOC form is permanent torment.
I thought so too, but I'm not sure anymore.
As I said, we can check it up.
Yeah. And as you check it up, just to get the scene continuing, Lil will say, "Okay, price for shooting her through the head, restoring her exactly how she is afterwards."
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say you might just want to listen. I was trying to drop that hint there, but you know.
I just wanted to say it before you said I shoot her in the head because I couldn't say it afterwards in case.
No, he will look at you. Deal.
Cool.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. Not one hair difference. Not one extra binding to her. Not to
However,
you.
you forget the fact that even if I do so, she will still have the recollection that her friend shot her in the head.
Who says we're friends?
Cold. Even by my standards.
You have standards.
My. To think demons that inhabit gutter trash deign to talk to me in such a way.
Oh, I've been called worse. Anyway, so we're in a standoff here. So either we're gonna get what we want, or you're gonna get what you want. I'm bored as fuck.
Not really. There hasn't been a standoff, but
Question. If I were to shoot her and you were to restore her exactly as she is now, what does that give you?
satisfaction of seeing her die.
Hmm.
You're fascinated by death. Well, so am I.
Death is an art.
I agree.
If you leave down your artist instruments, then you become rusty.
And what's going to happen if I refuse?
Nothing. I will simply take my leave.
Then why did you want me to leave her to you in the first place? Were you just trying to see how far I would go?
Perhaps. To answer the question honestly, it's because I believe that those who open their mouth in ignorance or dogma need to have it shut.
I think there are better ways to teach someone that than killing them.
Perhaps. What is your name? I've given you mine.
I've told you mine.
Oh, you have, haven't you? He will look at her and he will say, Lil. Lil the demon. Lil the savior, perhaps. Who knows? I have no doubt we will meet again. I have no doubt I'll meet more than likely all of you. Of course, when it was, the ritual was in progress, your ephemeric nature would have been dragged towards the maw. That's why you were here. Ah, a variable I had not considered. You are a variable I have. This has not happened to me in some centuries.
Perhaps I just wanted to set fire to a place that worships one of my worst enemies.
Or maybe you're just not as careful.
You haven't spoken before. What's your name?
Nick.
Let me ask you something, Nick. Do you ever worry about the insects you crush underfoot?
Depends what kind of insects they are.
Exactly.
Sometimes when they collect all together into a nest, one individually they are just, well, they are what they are. But when they come together into a collective, then it becomes somewhat of a concern. Then you have to start worrying where you set your feet. After all, when the insects decide that you're stepping on their territory, stepping on their home, then they might decide to correct the problem.
You're making a wonderful argument for why I should kill you all now.
But you won't.
Why is that?
Well, just like you said, we're a variable that you didn't consider.
You don't know what
You
you're
don't know
dealing
what
with,
you...
Jeff.
No. You don't know what you're dealing with. Well, you have some idea, no doubt.
Like we have
But
some for you.
Is this what it feels like to be alive? That sense of change. Interesting. It's been so very long. But yes, very well. The first gate is open. This evening is a time for jubilance, or the first lock is open. This evening is a time for jubilation. So,
How many locks are there?
he looks back and he says, do you really need me to answer that?
Yes.
A question for a question is not really an answer, no, is it?
Lil only has eminence one, so yes, she will need you to answer that.
I think Nick
Have you
will
ever
probably know
wondered
this,
why
but he's
it
going
was?
to... Sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever wondered why dogmatically, when it has absolutely no link to you, people have always feared the number 6?
No.
Exactly. We were not raised Christian.
Nick knows. I'm just going to say that. Nick knows. But he stays silent.
Because 6 points, 6 pillars, supports all things. 6 points. But I have tarried here long enough.
Is there a way for us to contact you?
Why on earth would you want to do a thing like that?
Who knows? I'd like to keep my options open. Maybe one day I'll like another question game.
He will reach out his hand, and in a small, not necessarily a puff of smoke, but almost like a tendril of smoke will form around his hand, at which case a white card will appear. He will hold it out. On the card, there is no phone number. There's just a simple little etching that appears to be a circle with concentric spirals in it. And he says, spill a drop of blood upon that, and I will know that you wish my pleasant conversation for the evening.
Lil will take it and put it in her pocket.
Gerul smiles and says, so obviously blood's important to you, huh? And he'll give that whatever it is creature a smile.
You can't honestly remember, can you? When it was your kind cursed Cain for the killing of Abel, when it was that they walked the earth, never to be seen by the light of the sun.
May I roll to know that?
Yes.
My character wouldn't know that even if you say it like that.
I think Nick's already... Well, I think we already established in the previous scene that I did with Nick that... well, he did read that book, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I managed to not get any successes on an 8 dice roll. Wow. Okay, sweet. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you know who Cain and Abel are.
Of course, yeah.
I don't.
Third mortal. Person who gave the fallen the gift
Out
of
of
delusion.
out of character, yes. In character, no.
Well, I probably would, but yeah. Anyway.
Amnesia, maybe. Anyway.
No, not amnesia, just not caring about Christian dogma. Anyway, so he still looks at the creature, trying to size it up, trying to figure out actually if he could destroy it right now.
He is not in any way physically imposing.
No.
It's about 6. He's about 6 foot tall, 6'1", 6'2". Very, very thin, almost, spindly. You can't really tell its gender. The face is very, very, as pictured there. Like, I, for example, cannot tell if that's a man or a woman from a woman's perspective.
It's a woman.
It is
I
a woman,
think,
actually.
I think it's a woman. They leave it incredibly up in the air as to what it
Yeah.
is even in the movie.
All right, it doesn't really matter. It's an asexual creature with
Yes,
a human face. Got it.
but my point is that it doesn't look physically imposing at all.
Still, it acts like it has godly powers, and at the moment, Kirill's mind is racing. If it would be best to destroy it now, while they're all together, maybe very unprepared, or not.
There's 9 of them and 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
we are, but we have an advantage. An advantage they don't.
They have an advantage too.
Mm.
I mean, if you want, you can roll initiative.
Nope. I'm not gonna do it.
Does Kirill want to put his theory into practice?
I have to think about if I'm going to use my overconfidence to do it anyway.
Oh,
Oh.
do you have overconfident as a flaw?
Nope, I have it as a merit. That means when I spend willpower to really put my mind to it, it doesn't cost me any willpower.
Oh, you know what it means. Yeah, you think you should totally do this though? I mean, how could this fucking skeleton hag queen motherfucker over there possibly stand up to you?
I know, and at the same time, the things that she has said or it has said about restoring and creating that what has been destroyed is fascinating, and it might even be a mage in his mind, or mage.
You will also notice that there are a number of gold coins just on the grass that he casually flicked into existence. Just like-
Yeah, but picking up a coin might be like accepting her deal.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, not that much of an idiot. Yeah, he'll look at his sister, and he's like, "So we're just gonna let him do this," and that'll just be his face, not any words.
Celia tries to
Will-
make eye contact with Carol as well, and trying to say, "Are we just gonna let him do this?"
As she looks at him, he just simply smiles and winks, and doesn't try to communicate at all.
We lost Jason.
He'll be back in a moment.
He'll be back. Lil is just, kind of shrugging, like, I don't know, like, she does not trust this guy, and he did just pull like 8 fucking creatures out of a. I mean, basically, what Lil is seeing is that there is an unknown power that just followed a whole lot of power in the center of this all. They are surrounded by 8 kind of gargoyle demony thingies. She's like, this is not a fight we can win because we are not in an advantageous position.
I will point out, just because Evan is that dick and you're all vampire players, 8 gargoyle thingies that all have claws. But why would they have claws? Continue.
I know about aggravated damage.
I mean,
Our
Lil is
characters
just
wouldn't know that.
and it's like, nope.
Exactly, characters wouldn't know that, so I'm trying not to mitigate.
I know. I'm just pointing out to be a dick. Continue with your life's work over there, guys.
So Lil will just, ever so slightly just shake her head at Carol, like. Mm. Lil did not take the alpha confident flaw.
Merit.
It's a merit. Exactly.
In my hands, it will always be a flaw, and we all know this.
Yeah.
Saskia, also known as YOLO personified.
Exactly.
I'm trying very hard not to with this character, people. And she will actually put the gun in her pockets, although her hand won't come out of the pockets.
Evan,
Yes.
I'm just looking at the intuition talent right now for Demon.
Yes.
Would it be wits or perception that I make a roll for?
To do what, sorry?
I need some inspiration for this thing. I need some insight, as it were. I know it's not like specialized knowledge or anything like that, but it does seem that we're at a bit of a standoff, and if there's anything that could tip the balance in their favor. To be fair, I'm just throwing dice at the problem at this point. So.
But he doesn't think he wants to leave, but people keep talking at him. Yeah, you can roll intuition if you like. I'm gonna go with it.
Okay. It's 9. Not.
It'll be standard diff.
All right. The apocalyptic, well, the traits of the apocalyptic form, which he has, gives him a -2 to his intuition roll. So we'll see how we go with it.
Hang on. Did you activate that element of it? Because I thought you only activated like heightened senses.
Yeah, you can. When you roll the faith, you can activate parts of your apocalyptic form, and I got 3 successes.
Oh, okay, cool. You kind of try them. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I activated all of them except wings.
Okay.
Anyways, right, 1, 2, 3. A lot of successes. Will his wit specialty of quick thinker apply?
Yes.
That's 8 successes then.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the painstakingly obvious first. This entity has spoken a lot about you. It seems to know what you are. It at one point said for its fun it could bind you to a bauble until Judgment Day. It has given no indication of being in any way concerned about you whatsoever. And it's more ways toying with you because it's bored as opposed to anything else. It is literally a case of this is what happens when, from your perspective, this is literally like what would happen if if we had the entire issue with Goliath, only someone forgot their sling.
Hey, I have my sling.
Okay. But, you are outmatched, outmaneuvered. You can assume that there are some safeguards in place you can't see because he's proven the fact that he can pull random crap out of literal nowhere. You don't have any knowledge moving forward. You are literally at so much of a disadvantage just based on lack of knowledge, let alone power, that this is something that you should withdraw from and regroup, as opposed to actually trying to engage. It's painfully obvious.
I get why do I suddenly feel like Anakin Skywalker right now?
Except, motherfucker, he has the high ground.
When you think, well, all right. With that, Evan, would I be able to use casual influence on this creature? It's the Law of the Patterns 4.
What to do?
Basically, the number of successes rolled determines how many days into the future they can view regarding the subject, which the difficulty for the roll depends exactly on what you're doing. For a person, it would be difficulty 6. Also determines how many questions the player can ask the storyteller about what the character sees. The blurb on this stuff is on page 193 if you want to look up it yourself.
You can roll it, you can ask me questions.
Yeah, and the
difficulty with 6.
Yeah, -2 due to the intuition thingy. I think I need to get the exact dice roll here. Oh, it's perception. Sorry, my fault. Okay. I'll spend a will for this one because why not? Not that I really needed to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 successes. Okay. All right, I have 7 questions. Question number 1. Where exactly are they planning on going after this has ended?
You see an underground library filled with dark books that are bound in various different skins, leathers, and other things like that. That is illuminated via a number of lamps that blaze with a sickening blue fire. You don't know where it is because you don't know where it is because it doesn't show you where it is, but you see them there.
Okay. Likely fates. That's one. How much time do they need to put into motion their plans of doing the second seal, or at least the second part of their plan?
It's already in motion.
Okay.
You get a brief flash of the image of the room as I described in the mental asylum picture.
It's in a medical asylum.
In a mental asylum, it's the
Mental
other
asylum, sorry.
prospect room.
All right, sorry, I misheard. Okay, mental asylum. Okay.
You also get the when you're contemplating about it, you get the impression of the gate of fear is number 2. That's what it's called.
Okay. You might need to put some of this stuff into my blue booking thread, because I'm probably going to forget some of this stuff.
I would recommend writing it down because I am very bad at remembering to do things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Luckily, this is still recorded, so you can look it back.
That's true. That's true. Right, 5 questions left. Have they the actual means to identify, and by identify I mean gain the true name of any of the fallen that they come into contact with?
That is beyond the scope of a few days because he doesn't do it in the next day.
All right, so we know. Well, that's good because
you know
that type of level fallen should be really, really difficult to do. So
yeah, it's a level 4 major to actually do it. To understand, it's a level 4 changeling power to do it.
Right, but I'm thinking Fallen, Demon the Fallen's mechanics for this specifically.
Oh, fuck if I know those.
Yeah, well, it's in the core book. Actually, it's in several books, I think. Okay. Is there any one specifically that they fear? That they fear interfering with them, should I say?
You're looking at this individual, and it's interesting. You don't think he's capable of feeling fear anymore, as in it doesn't exist to him, as if he transcended it.
Right, but all right, but that's not specifically what I asked. It's not so much them feeling fear because you don't have the ability to like interpret mind, but it's basically, do they have any safeguard? Are they making precautions for people, maybe specific people?
Not specific people, but you sense very much wheels within wheels, cogs within cogs, in the sense that there is a backup to the backups, basically. But it's not designed for specific people.
All right. Is there any? Okay. Do they? Right. What are these specifics that they're backups, as it were?
Okay. This is interesting. You now get the image of You now get the image of seven gates, basically, or 7 locks, rather, is probably a better thing to say. And essentially, from what you can understand, the thing he swallowed was the key to the lock, ostensibly. The small little jewel was essentially the key to the lock. So what happens is that is the key to the lock. It's all good. But you get this impression that there is not just one way to open the gate. Like, you don't have to do it in the exact way of I must dance this dance on the night of the full moon, whilst wearing dandelions. There are multiple ways you could open every gate. So essentially, even if you prevent them opening one way, they have another way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Unfortunate for them, they're dealing with an angel of the fates here. Okay, I'm counting 3 last questions.
Yep.
Okay. Can they be destroyed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most likely event that this occurs?
The entity you're looking at, because it's the individual who you're basing this off, is ostensibly, he's not mortal, but he can be damaged. He is incredibly resilient to damage, but if you hit him hard enough, he will feel it.
No, I asked specifically destroyed, though.
Beg your pardon?
I asked specifically destroyed, though. What will destroy them?
Fire will hurt him or possibly destroy him. Being damaged physically, like repeatedly struck, will eventually destroy him with incredible force. You know, basically, how do you kill an elder vampire?
So sunlight, fire, or decapitation.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Or teeth, claws of certain supernatural.
Actually, interestingly enough, with him, you don't see sunlight.
Okay.
Sunlight is not one of the ways he can be killed. Mostly when people turn around and were like, Evan, I will tell you this all out of character because I will be fair. When people were like, Evan, we want multi-venue things, my response was, fine, I have to go write an antagonist for multi-venue thing. Okay, I was originally going to use him as a vampire antagonist, but no, he's now an everyone antagonist. He has a demonic investment so he can ignore the sun. There you go.
This is one of the reasons I don't like crossover.
Because otherwise, how would they do it?
I don't quite think that anyone here has the ability to create sunlight out of nothing, though. Or at least no one in this venue.
Not yet.
That is...
How would the other venues deal with the vampire? Well, they go and murder at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, they just bring in a chorister to like stand in the middle of a haven and start singing "This Little Light of Mine."
So yes, I had to kind of remove that little kind of glaring kind of. He also doesn't sleep during the day. Fun fact. But so yeah, no, fire will kill him. Enough force will kill him. Decapitation will kill him. Things will kill him. He's not immortal. He's just incredibly hardy.
Okay. Right, I've got 2 questions left. I'm not quite sure what to ask.
So Hardy, is his name Tom?
Go die in the corner. When you would like to help Jason with 2 more questions, he gets to ask. Anybody? Dealer's choice.
Actually, I do have one question I can ask. Are these the only minions that they have, or do they have more? And do they have the ability to create more, should I say? Yes.
You get a brief flash of history. You see him responsible for the creating of dozens of these monsters over the past. Fun fact, and most vampires will know this if they have any Tremere lore, Lord Ashar, that guy, when he was still a card-carrying member of Clan Tremere, created the ritual to make gargoyles. It's his ritual. He didn't create them all, but he made the ritual to do it. So he has these plus more. Basically, you see basically these huge, vile, almost like birthing wounds through which they are slithered and crawl out of, screaming in absolute abject agony before they are broken mentally and bound to his service.
Okay. One last question. It's making a good one because I've got 0 ideas now. Anyone got any suggestions?
Yes, but I think Evan is gonna hate me.
Go on, let's hear it.
Go on.
Ask what his true name is.
Okay, yeah. What's their true name?
Evan?
I'm thinking.
Thinking in how many ways you will die now by hearing his true name. Oh boy.
Why didn't any of us think of this?
Just be an infuriating bastard. The question will pose a question.
What is a true name?
No. The actual question, and it's ironic because you don't have any more questions after this point. The question will simply ask, which one?
The true name.
Oh,
No. Which one? It's very
The true name.
Yes, he doesn't just have one.
Everyone has one true name, but then again, I'm suddenly recalling. Did you ever watch like the Ghostbusters cartoon as a child?
And he drops out.
Hello,
you're
No,
very far
yeah.
away, Jason.
hello,
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounded like he went underwater.
hello.
We can hear you again. Sorry. What
Okay.
were you saying? Ghostbusters
I
cartoon?
was asking, does anyone here remember the Ghostbusters cartoon as a child?
No.
The one that was made in the 80s.
Wait, hang on. Is this Ghostbusters, aka the original group, or is this Extreme Ghostbusters, which came out?
The original one, the good one.
I liked Extreme Ghostbusters, but yes.
Yes. Do you remember that particular episode where they had to deal with a demon inside of a haunted house called what?
Yes.
Is their name?
Yes.
I'm suddenly but thinking that might be it.
And possibly comment.
But we have enough information now.
Why didn't you speak up earlier, Saskia? I'm kidding. I'm joking, man.
If it helps, I believe Saskia died slowly on the inside. But those are the answers you get to your questions. Use them well.
Yes, we have, and we will.
So, okay, I will clarify the question because I feel as if I should. When I said what one, the entity that you're looking at, when you're actually casting the power on, is not just one entity.
Nice.
I think we know who specifically he was referring to, though.
Yes, but I'm choosing to be a dick here.
Okay.
I mean, dick question gets a dick answer. Like,
if you need me to be specific about which one we're referring to, I can do that. But
okay.
I'm assuming, and Saskia, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're referring to the being that they're seeing right in front of them physically.
It's your question, man.
No, it's yours. You're the one that asked it.
I mean, I asked it out of character. In character, Lil probably even has never heard of True Names, so.
Well, she knows that the demons have
long answer short. Long. Okay. Actually, no. I will give you an even more cryptic answer. There we go. Because fuck it, why not? And this makes much more sense considering what it is he serves and what they did to him. He doesn't have one. It's been erased or eaten. Because he doesn't have something very important that is assigned to a true name.
Okay. That makes a whole lot of sense now.
Exactly. It just opened a can of worms, but it's actually interesting now.
Yeah,
because there now I know at least out of characters 3 ways to kill it. Anyway,
yeah.
Back to the action.
So he turns on his heel, and he will say, "I will see you again, Lil. I have no doubt of that."
Sure. See you later, alligator.
The shadows will kind of coil around him before he will vanish, at which point you will see the gargoyles melt back into the ground. You will feel their presences dissipate and leave very quickly.
Interesting. There's so much that I learned from them just by looking at their fate.
Celia looks at him as he says this. Oh?
You're forgetting. I'm Neberu. I see the threads of fate, both before and after.
What was that thing?
A puppet for a greater power. They are not mortal. They are not human, that I know. Creature that was made, well, maybe a descendant of one of those that were created, those experiments in ancient times, the ones coming from the first murderer, Cain.
Interesting. That means that the only thing that it's holding it here is the vessel that at the current day the creature rides.
Exactly.
I can destroy a vessel.
Fire seems to be the best way.
Oh, my way is far more.
Maybe decapitation as well.
I'm thinking about extinguishing.
That could probably work, but well, if the first house among us can't summon enough flame to destroy them, then maybe that would be an option. But there's some things that I need to tell you guys. Those creatures that popped out of the ground, they made them. As in they were the ones to create them many, many centuries ago. They had the means to make more of them. I'm not sure how fast they can make them, but on the plus side, whilst they obviously know a lot by the library that I saw, they don't have the means to truly bind us, or at least not within the foreseeable future, at least not without considerable effort. They're also searching for, well, there are certain events that they have to make. Certain seals, 6 seals. The second one, they already have plans to enact it. If we subvert one, they have plans to already make it go ahead, but again, I'm an angel of the fates. Like I said, considering everything they've told us, they are a puppet for something outside of creation. Maybe something that we left from before. Or something that was left from before. They're not part of the abyss. Maybe the creature that they serve is made up of the composite of the abyss. I don't know. But whatever it is.
I just went out Celia. Sorry.
What?
Yeah.
But whatever it is.
One of you knows what it is he works for, and it's Celia. But when he was asking, when Barbara was saying, "I don't know what it is," you do. I was just pointing it out for posterity.
Wait, I know what that is.
Yes, because I told you at the very beginning of the scene when you rolled the awesome legacy.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did write that down. Yeah. He when he says that, Celia will like, she will look thoughtful for a moment, and she says, "I saw," and then she will look at all of them. "I don't know how much you remember from before," she says. "I remember much. Before our father made us, there was nothing. There was, at the very beginning, there was a primordial nothingness, is the best way to describe it. And even after creation, even while we toiled to create as he commanded us, there was ever this, just beyond creation, there was this void, this obscene nothingness, this obscene darkness that was howling in anger at us, at our father. It raged because it could never be. and there was a malicious intelligence there. I don't know how better to describe it, but it wanted to undo creation itself. Our father said, "Let there be light," and it said no, is what I'm saying. That is what we're up against.
But it was powerless to resist the strength and might of the Almighty, the All-Father. I can understand why it would be so adamant to destroy creation.
Yes.
So it was the first of his fuck-ups.
No. It was just them deciding to make something beautiful on a canvas that, well, that didn't want to be made a canvas out of. Something not exactly that any of us, even back then, could comprehend or understand or even affect. After all, what are we but just the fragmented pieces of his will?
She knows.
I'm most definitely not a part of his will. Not anymore.
No, we're not anymore.
But we used to be, Celia says with melancholy in her voice.
We can argue about the particulars and the morality behind that some other night. Fact is, we need to figure out a way to get rid of this thing.
Evan?
Yes.
Lily's gonna walk like to the place where he stood, and is just gonna, inspect the gazebo, inspect the place where he stood to see if there's anything different regarding the ground, or like, I don't know, a symbol or something,
Nothing like that, no.
Figured.
There are still, as I said, a number of gold coins that have been casually tossed both onto the floor of the gazebo and into the grass.
Yeah,
Don't
she'll
do
definitely.
it.
Of course
I will
she's
point
gonna
out,
pick them up.
I was going to point out, you are demons. There's nothing inherently magical to coins. They are
No.
just coins.
And you can sell them and get some money, and well, some of us aren't rich. So she will definitely pick them up and put them in her pockets. She doesn't really care if the others see.
You hear a noise from behind you that sounds vaguely like popping, and you see a number of people stepping out, basically from cover. They are kind of all. They're all kind of. They're making their way towards the gazebo with definite intent, but they don't. You don't think that they're looking at you necessarily. In the lead of the party is this person.
Is it what?
Is this person?
Oh boy.
Oh fuck no! No!
I can't hear it. Sorry. I can't hear
God,
what
no.
everything's so owing about. What?
No, it's the picture that we're owing about because
Yep.
we're mage players and we know what this means.
Oh, right. Well,
Yep.
then I have no clue whatsoever. So yeah, great. So, are we going to wait for this cunt, or are we going to leave?
I mean, are people literally popping out? Like, do we see them like appearing?
You don't see them appearing. You
Okay.
see a number of people stepping out onto the path from a kind of a clump of trees, and
Okay.
and you can immediately feel the flashes of magic as they arrive because it's like
Right.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, let's GTFO as normally as possible.
I am. What? Can they see us?
The problem is though that wouldn't like, are they just like popping out of nowhere? Or are they like, do they just look like people who happen to pass by? Or
They're popping out of basically in the trees. They weren't there a few moments ago until you
okay.
sense the magic as they arrive.
Right.
Okay.
Again,
Fuck.
my first question: can they see us?
They make every indication that they can. In fact, one of them will stop about 5 feet away collective. But they don't seem to be that. They don't seem to acknowledge you anything other than people. And you'll see this woman kind of tapping her hand on her belt, like kind of tap, like clearly agitated. She said, "Sorry, right, my apology. Did you have a light? I left my lighter behind me."
Are they on the island or are they like with the others? I don't know where everybody's positioned.
Basically, they're walking. So Lil walked onto the bridge and then walked onto
Yeah.
the gazebo, right?
Yeah.
In order to look where the guy was standing. Everyone
Yeah.
else was kind of clustered around the bridge because they never said they were going over it. So they're basically walking towards the group of people who are clustered in front of the bridge. As I said, they're about 5 feet away, and somebody just asked, "Do you have a lighter?"
Right, I'm leaving. I'm not waiting for this answer.
Okay. Either of you light, fire, anything?
Oh, I have a light. She's not just getting it. I'm leaving.
Yeah. I assume you're not sure you're going to say I have a light, but you're not getting it and walking over.
Exactly, because I'm a dick. So
That's
I'm
fair.
moving,
Wow.
and I'm looking at Lil like, come on, let's go.
I mean, she's on the island. We just established that. So,
Right, are you coming? Oh, never mind. If you're not coming immediately, I will simply start walking. That's
Okay.
Oh,
That's fine. Like, she's still busy.
right. Okay.
Jeez, I'm trying to I'm trying to give the other stuff to do.
She looks towards. She looks between Nick and Celia. Says, "Either of you light."
I haven't actually established if Celia smokes or not. No, she probably doesn't. She shakes her head with an apologetic look. No, sorry, she says, and she makes an effort to hide, like to change her voice a little bit.
Right. Okay. You, mate. Lighter? Do you have one?
No, sorry, I don't smoke.
That's cool. Right. Come on. Okay. Cool. I do hope I didn't break up some kind of like illicit drug deal or something like that.
No, nothing like that.
No.
the dealer's just walking away. I mean,
Well, look, it's when you walk up to people who are kind of crowded around a park, and then all of a sudden they bolt when they see someone. It just
Yeah.
I call it the force of habit. A girl in a uniform, looking like that, comes over and asks for a light. I'm not staying around until she gets it. I'm leaving.
It's just a weird steampunk thing. But
Yeah, right. I don't know steampunk things. I'm off.
Yeah, it's LARP stuff.
Anyway, as the LARP steampunky girl is staying to talk there, I am simply going to keep walking, and I'm cursing beneath my breath because my sister is being stubborn.
Celia looks over to Nick, like with a bit of an inquisitive look in her eyes, like, and then like tries to flicker her, tries to let her eyes wander over to the newcomer as if to ask Nick, who are they?
Who are who?
Like, she wouldn't say it out loud, but she would like look over to the newcomers. She doesn't know, like she doesn't. He can obviously see things, is what she's thinking, and she can't.
Nick just shrugs as he starts to walk off, presumably with them. I don't know.
He like Celia follows him.
Right, miss. Right, I'm going to be honest with you. We booked this gazebo, so would you mind? Unless you have a lighter. Do you have a lighter?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sorry, I was waiting for someone. Guess the guy ditched me, and Lil will get we'll actually get a pack of cigarettes out. We'll grab a lighter. We'll pull one of them out of her package. Hands the lighter over to the woman.
She takes a pack of cigarettes out of her own pocket. She drags them out with her teeth, and she flicks the lighter until she is. You see the cigarette ignite. She says, "Yeah, well, the men will do that to you. Sorry to hear that."
Yeah. Well, enjoy your night.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
Lil and the gold coins will fuck off. Fuck off!
Okay.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
I choose to point out, I rolled a D3 to see which mage GC would turn up to investigate. You guys were lucky because she's the only one who doesn't walk around with Spirit Sight constantly on.
Oh god, that could have been awkward.
Well, considering the other options were Master Siren and Lord Sideshow,
Oh fuck no, not
Oh.
Sideshow. Sideshow would have probably been the worst.
No, Sideshow would have been extremely interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like in like in the old Chinese proverb, like about living in interesting times.
Yes,
No,
at
That kind of
not
interesting.
necessarily.
at that moment, our venue would be called the Demon Venue That Could Not.
But yeah, you will see her. For the record, as you leave, you guys will become immediately aware of magic flaring up behind you as these individuals clearly start doing something. You're not exactly sure what, because you are leaving, but you sense it's behind you.
Okay, can I, if I feel that flaring up, can I just, just in stealth, sort of watch?
Curious Flaw?
No, just me.
Okay, do you want to make me a dex stealth roll?
Yes. Do I even have stealth? Of course I have stealth. We're crazy if I don't have stealth. I do have
Evan,
stealth.
Evan, I'm going to send you a message that will tell you what I'm doing.
Are you going back, are you going back to boost to the car?
Yes and no.
I also choose to point out that if you go back, the car is gone, unfortunately, because that is an NPC's car, and we established they left yesterday. So to continue the continuality, there's no car there.
No, not that car.
Oh.
We also arrive with a car. No, I'll be right there. I'm just making a roll. I'll be right there, watching, observing.
I got 2 successes on my stealth. It's not a whole lot, but it's something.
Okay. You will see the woman. She is writing in the air in what appears to be fiery letters that are coming out of her fingertip,
Mm-hmm.
while the other two are kind of standing on either side with their hands held out. You get the vague impression that they're doing a wonderful little you can't see me spell, but that because you can somehow see right through it because the mind sphere doesn't work on you.
Nope.
Does do I remember, like, is this anything that I've ever seen before?
You guys were leaving.
Okay, sweet, yeah,
Well,
that's
Nick
true.
was, yeah.
Yeah, I stated that I was following him.
Like I said, I'm coming back, but they won't see me unless they can walk. Unless they can see into the shadow realm.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Evan, can I make some sort of a wits roll to either determine what they're writing, or if it's in some sort of ancient code that I won't understand at all, memorize it?
It's in Enochian.
Right? I'm watching it.
I mean, I have eidetic memory, so even if I can't read it, can I like memorize the?
We consider all of you to be able to speak your first language, which was Enochian, the first
Yep.
language.
Yep.
Fair enough. In that case, I will have to make a dyslexia roll.
Roll me intelligence academics, difficulty 7.
That's not a dyslexia. Is that academics? Perception alertness, diff 6.
Oh, it's perception alertness.
Oh no! Stop. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. My bad. Dyslexia. It is a intelligence roll diff 8 to interpret a map or read anything.
That's legitimately crippling. Okay. Yeah, roll me that sweet intelligence.
Oh yeah. If I botch, I get exactly the opposite. But in this case, I get like intelligence. What's my intelligence? And yeah, I love this flaw so much. I got an 8 and a 10. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, you are perfectly capable of reading. Congratulations.
Yay.
1 moment. Sorry, I just have to answer a message.
How dare.
Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, basically what you read as she's doing it is she's essentially drawing some kind of compass of north, south, east, west. At which point there are a number of sterling different runes that stand for things like truth and lies and shadow and deceit. At which point they're all swirling around in a kind of a nimbus-like pattern until they settle on different locations on the compass.
Okay. That's interesting.
If you wanted my phone number, you only had to ask.
Is she saying that to Lil?
You could assume so. She hasn't turned around. But
Oh,
she-
for fuck's
she's saying
sakes.
You got 2 successes on the stealth roll. I apologize for nothing.
It's completely fair. Lil will stand up. I was curious. I like uniforms.
I'm also more curious how it is you can see or hear me. That was an interesting test, wasn't it?
Boom!
I mean, Lil shrugs. I suppose.
God, no.
When curiosity finally fucks you over.
I mean, curiosity always fucks me over at some
Yeah,
point.
then stop playing it.
No, it's not.
When the group isn't complete, Celia will pat Nick on the shoulder and just gesture back in the direction of Leo. What's taking them so long? Let's go check it out.
I mean, Lil was just gonna walk away unless she's being stopped now.
Yep. Well, I'm in the Shadow Realm, very close by, but as I'm looking at you and listening.
So, before you go, I am curious. How is it you could see me? You shouldn't have been able.
I should not. Oh. Are you sure?
Look, just because you're cute doesn't mean you get to play dumb.
You think I'm cute? Oh.
Yes, congratulations. On this day, in the darkest hour of mankind, when it is we've got Trump as a president, Brexit, highest CO2 emissions known to man, Senpai has noticed you. How the fuck can you see me?
Well, sometimes cute is the best you can get.
I have a question. Can Kirill drag other people into the Shadowlands?
This is a power that I've been looking over for, and this is something that is up for discussion. Is it possible? Yes, it's definitely possible. The point is, this is where the difference of this body in this world comes across to what I used to be able to do and do. So what I have to do is I have to, if you allow me, make make a move that makes me pull her into my realm. That is an existing power. However, it's not yet a power I possess.
Then unfortunately, you cannot do it.
Well, technically, there is a power where I can do it within Demon, but yeah, it's something. I think it was an Elwood house rule.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember people being able to do it because they can. Let me see.
I think the ref did it to Jacob once, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we walked with a rhino into the Shadow World. I'm not saying it was right, but we did it.
No, Saskia. You walked with my rhino into the
Miracle was our rhino, bitch.
Miracle was lovely.
Okay, the power is called Pierce the Barrier, and it means the evocation helps to me to create a temporary doorway between the living and the dead realms, allowing other demons to cross into the shadow realms.
Yes, do you possess power?
And this is a level 5 power.
So
Then
no, you can't do
you
it.
must.
But Lil is just kind of shrugging, like she is trying to play this as being seriously surprised that apparently she was not allowed to see this, which is just
What's your name?
Lil.
It's nice to meet you, Lil. My name's Alexandra, or everyone calls me D'Onofrio, but that's not here nor there.
Ooh, I'm gonna remember that name.
I mean, Lil is gonna go as well, but okay. Well, it was nice meeting you, and good luck with whatever sort of pagan thing you're doing. See ya. And she'll just,
Start walking.
start walking. Yeah.
You'll hear her say fucking Bruce as she turns around and goes back to her work.
Great. I'm going to continue to watch what they're doing from the realm.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure how that works, because I know other things you have to peek across the barrier. Do you have to do that?
Nope, I don't have to. I can just step beyond the veil and look through the veil.
Okay. In that case, she stays at it for another 5 minutes before she dismisses the 5 lectures and swears violently, to the point that she punches the side of the gazebo. It doesn't do anything. She's just really frustrated. And she says, I've got no idea where that fucking power came from. Every time I try to get a lock on it, it starts to spiral. I can't fucking find where it's going. Okay, look, right. We're going to go back to the Chantry. We're going to see what we can see. And then I'm going to try and reassess the situation tomorrow. That seems like a plan. Cool.
All right. I'm going to try and take a very mental note of this girl. So I want to remember as much about her as possible. So I might be able to find her and track her through the Shadow Realms. Because that goes by thought.
She is my only character in my games who has, because I normally pride myself on coming up with really interesting appearance specialties for my characters. Her appearance specialty is not special. She is rank 4 appearance. Her appearance is sexy. I love D'Onofrio. I do
now
not.
he's definitely gonna remind.
I'm gonna remember that. Yes.
I was gonna say I allowed myself one. I allowed myself one that was just completely generic.
Well, I have a certain addiction, which will definitely want me to remember her. Yeah, I'll definitely do that, and I'll be able to track her by mind, by simple thought.
All right. So with that in mind, they will all disappear. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in the scene?
One last thing for Nick.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use Laura Patton's, the first dot of this, to try and find out where exactly that second stage ritual is going to occur. I'm just looking at the mechanics for this. Right, perception plus intuition. You can sense a pattern a number of days into the future equal to faith score. The number of successes determines how much information they receive. The mechanics of this are on page 192 if you want to just look that up. And if you don't have anything actually proper planned for that, I'll just make the roll and whatever successes,
Sorry, I completely tuned out. What are you looking for? My apologies, I didn't mean to do so, but say Libby.
He's going to use Law of Patterns. What's called sense congruence. It's like the first dot of it.
Yep. So you want?
Yeah, just trying to find information about this second lock.
Oh yeah, sure. By all means.
Yeah, okay. Spend another will for this one. Not that I fucking needed to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
It's in a St. Vincent's mental hospital. The ritual itself is already prepared. They're just waiting for someone to active or to complete the final component.
Okay. All the details you can leave in my blue booking thread.
Okay.
Because with 7 successes, that is a lot of details that can go into.
Okay. Cool. So with that in mind, I shall end the scene. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in darkness. Have a pleasant evening, y'all.